Hey, good day. This is MassX with a Bleach Immortal Souls video. I've had a couple requests lately to go through the War Souls I use on my characters, and since we have not seen the new War Souls released yet, I figured I'd go ahead and throw a short video together and just kind of run through my major characters and what they're currently using. So let's get right to it. You are Grimjaw. With him, I haven't switched him up in a long time. I find this to be the most effective War Souls I've been using with him. I use a War Soul of Wrath as well as a War Soul of Tides. I leave the Tides on him to give him the increased HP, as well as he does have a tendency to take damage pretty severely sometimes, so I want to be able to heal him. I have the luxury too that I was able to pull with attack signs on them, so they weren't needed to be reforged, so I get that additional boost. So for him, I've been leaving that on him for quite some time. Eisen, I use a War Soul of Wrath and a War Soul of Mystery on him. I have not changed the War Souls on Eisen for months. I think this is the most effective use with Eisen, especially if you're using him as an offensive beast. And of course, similarly, I have the luxury of the attack signias on both the War Soul of Wrath and War Soul of Mystery without having to reforge, so I get that extra boost too with him. For Nell, I use a War Soul of Crimson and a War Soul of Rage. The Crimson has stayed on her for quite some time. I don't expect or see myself changing that until the new War Souls come out. The War Soul of Rage, I've had on her for a little while to see how well it works. It seems to work pretty well. But in the end, I do switch hers around periodically. But currently, that's what I have on her. And again, if you're probably noticing, I try to match the skill set signs so they don't have to be reforged, because quite honestly, I refuse to reforge because the system is crap. It's a waste of Awaken Essence and time. And so I never use it anymore. So I try to match the best War Souls I can with what I have, and then I just don't care after that, because I won't waste those Awaken Essence on that system until they change it, because the odds are so low. For Vastalordi Ichigo, I use a War Soul of Fury on him and the War Soul of Culling. I think it's self-explanatory. The Fury on him to increase the rage skill damage, and of course I do had one with a skill set insignia on it, so I get that little bonus. The Culling's great because it increases when the enemy's HP is less than 45%, so it allows him to finish him off quicker. I've been using those on him for quite some time now. Courage and the Healing, both with skill sets insignias. That's why they're on him. You know, give or take, you could switch up. But I do like the Courage. The block chance increase. I'm using him as a tank on my front line when I do use him. So that's probably the best case scenario. I use a War Soul of Armor and a War Soul of Evil on Toshiro. I use him as a frontline tank defensive unit. That's my preferred use of him. I think he's better that way than using him as an offensive unit. That's why he has these War Souls on him. I've been using him this way for quite some time. I think that's the best purpose for UR Toshiro, in my opinion. People disagree, but it's worked successfully for me for this long, so I don't expect to change it. Armor and Temper. I know a lot of people use Temper on Kensei. I switch it between the two. Kensei, some say, is the better defensive tank at this point. I would tend to agree, but mattering on where I'm using him, I will keep that temper on whatever unit's being featured in a particular set I'm using so it switches back and forth. On Kensei, War Soul of Courage, self-explanatory. The War Soul of Avatar is really on him for nothing else, but I just was looking to put something on him. Like I said, if I'm featuring him, I'll put the temper on him. That's the preferred War Soul. Hopefully with this new batch, we'll get some better War Souls so you can take advantage of some of the things from the character War Souls that aren't available. I'm hoping, but again, I thought we were going to get these new War Souls by now. Hopefully they're going to come by the end of the month. They said they're on the way. They said they've been testing or they're done testing. So fingers crossed, because I would like to switch things up quite a bit. For Kenny, Asura, self-explanatory. War Soul of Permafrost. I kind of just have that on him right now because Kenny is situational for me. So based on where I'm using him, I will switch that character War Soul out. Last time I put the Permafrost on him because it had the attack insignia, so I get a little bit of extra boost. As well as, one of your allies gets a 100% chance to trigger a mastery skill. So, yeah, it is what it is. It gives him an HP boost, which helps Kenny stay alive. And somebody's going to benefit from it from that first round. Asura is self-explanatory. To get the extra rage, so you can get Kenny to go off more often, because you're using him 99.9% of the time as either a finisher or just a massive offensive unit for your team. War Soul to Eye and War Soul Soaring on him. I've left these on him for quite some time. They both have the defensive skill set on them, so I get the extra boost. That's why they're there. The War Soul of the Eye is basically there to give him a little bit more offense since he's really a defensive unit. And the Soaring is really just there. So when he's on the team, he's assisting everybody else. Gives him a little bit more offense with the attack boost. I've been working with him as a tank slash attacker to not make him completely useless as a tank only, to try to get some offensive benefit out of him. It's had its ups and downs, but as a whole, I'm finding it, in the grand scheme of things, it's definitely more efficient, especially on a team. So I've left that on him for quite some time now and probably won't change it anytime soon. Shinji, War Soul of Crippling and War Soul of Pacifism. Shinji's one of my favorite characters, and you can probably expect from Pacifism, because of his rage reduction and his skill set, I really stack it up there by putting the War Soul of Pacifism on him to really assist with that. White Ichigo, War Soul of Shattering, and a War Soul of Crescent. The Shattering is really the important one. I like that one on him a lot. I'm lucky enough to have one with the attack skill set, so I get a little bit extra boost. But I want that effect accuracy because, quite honestly, I want him to silence. That's the most important thing to me when I use him. Let's run through a few more. Yamamoto, War Soul of Shattering, as well as a War Soul of Chaos. The character War Souls on Yamamoto, I change all the time. The Shattering's been on him for a while. Same thing. I want that effect accuracy. So at least when his skill set's going off, I have a higher percentage. Yurihara, War Soul of Vengeance. I love that War Soul. It increases Soul Bearer's HP. It gives a reflect damage rate to the front row. And I have a War Soul of Thorns on him currently. Similarly, to work with the Vengeance, it increases reflect damage when he drops under 40%. Urahara is basically a tank. That's what you're using him for, and to help shield. So I really just use him up there as basically a meat shield. Let's see. Who's left? Ichigo. Currently just a Warsaw Levi. I haven't been using him much lately. He's been kind of phased out. Zangetsu, Warsaw Crimson. That's what I've been using on him forever. I use him sparingly, periodically, but no volatile Warsaw on him currently because he's not getting as much use. Zaz, same kind of thing. I'm still experimenting with him. I don't think I would recommend Warsaw the Saint at this time. Urahara, or Unohana, excuse me. Shattering, because I want the effect strength and effect accuracy up. And of course, the Smolder, pretty much everybody uses that on her to take advantage if she does die. Outside of that, most of my other, I can show you Baragon. I use a Vengeance on him because he's pretty much a frontline tank. The Warsaw Vitality is just on him because I had him on a bleed poison team. So the Vitality was just assisting the bleeders on the team. Not necessarily what I would keep on him. It just matters on the team I'm going to use him with. Byakuya, Crimson, I've pretty much been using that forever on him. The Warsaw Silence, I just kind of threw that on him because he's become more of a secondary, third tier character for teams. That's left over from Worlds. Warsaw Silence is good. I only threw it on him because he has skill specialty. So, I mean, it's a good Warsaw when your team's mostly skill and defense. So you get that silence increase. Let me see if there's anybody else. I'm still working with Tensa Zangetsu. Not sold yet on what I want to use on him yet. Notoria, Vigilance, I've been using that on forever, but I haven't been currently using him much lately. Mayuri, Warsaw the Saint, Warsaw Vanguard, which is just pretty much a throwaway. You're just throwing it just to get a little extra push on your character. Oh, that's pretty much it. I put a Vigilance on Rukia to test. I put one also on Orihime. Probably not going to stay there. But the first, 10 or so characters I went through, those are the ones I'm currently using the most right now. Those are consistent Warsouls that I would recommend, especially with the Grimjaw, the Eisen, the Nell, the Vasta Lordi. The Kenny, definitely. I like that setup a lot with him. Shinji, too, I actually like that setup. Everybody else, I still move around quite a bit. But, people wanted to see what Warsouls I was using. So I figured I'd go through my main characters and post those real quick for an update to what I had done previously. If you got any questions, let me know. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.